Welcome back. This is part two of the Attract to Invest final pitch competition. The rules are the same as before, but I will repeat them for those people who are tuning in online or joining us here physically now. We will have 10 pitches in the MedTech category, and the pitches will be strictly 3 minutes long. Those of you already here know that I will interfere if you go over time. Again, please don't get offended. This is so that everybody gets the same chances. After that, 3 minutes of Q&A from our esteemed jury members, who are Andrew Burke, CEO, Dragonfly Innovations, Imre Hild, Obuda Uni Venture Capital ZRT, Carlos Sanfilippo, Indeco Venture Partners. A round of applause, please, for our jury members. And don't forget, you are a jury member as well, because you can vote for the InnoStars Community Award up until 6 p.m. You can do so using the app that hopefully you already downloaded, using the QR code on your badge, or through the website. So if you haven't already done so, please do it. This is almost your last chance. Keep in mind, you can only vote once. So once you voted, it's done. One more important thing, here's a visibility tape. Keep it in mind, there's an edge behind it, so be extremely careful when you come on stage. If possible, you can come on stage from there. The mic is there as well as the clicker. And once you're done, please just leave it where you found it so that the next startup presenter can also pick it up. That's all you need to know. Let's get started. First on stage, Mapster, represented by Michal Gloger, CEO, Czech Republic, MedTech. Welcome to the stage.
Hello, my name is Michal Gloger. I'm a founder and a CEO of company Mapster, in which we treated over 200 patients after spinal cord injury up to date. Well, here are the numbers. There are over 20 million people with a spinal cord injury living currently in the world, and 900,000 new cases every single year. 40% of these people are people bound to the wheelchair until the rest of their lives, paralyzed from waist down. The important number is almost $3 million US is the lifetime healthcare cost spent for secondary health issues treatment for one single individual. Well, that means that the people after spinal cord injury, they are prone to secondary health issues, and if they don't move, if they are not active, they will receive them. But okay, so I just now realized, okay, fine. So basically, what do we get? The main problem is that these people, they don't get enough activity. So current healthcare are forcing them to be waiting and waiting and waiting. So immediately after the injury, during the primary care and secondary care, they're usually just waiting for the treatment. That's because of the lack of the caregivers, lack of the solutions. The only thing they get are these intensive peaks of therapy in the secondary care. So what are the current solutions for these people? They have either an affordable orthotic solutions, which are applicable for home care, or an costly and unaffordable exoskeletons, which are so expensive that they cannot afford them for home care, so that's why they meet them only in rehabilitation centers. In Mapster, we believe that the solution is consistency. That's why we developed an passive exoskeleton platform Unilexa, which is applicable for in primary care, as well in secondary care, and then as well in home care. The only thing that the patient needs to do, download the app after the injury, then connect to Unilexa Prime, which is fully adjustable solution for the rehabilitation centers, download the data to see the progress, and then after being released for home care, then they can obtain the Unilexa home solution and again connect to the platform and see the progress, which is really good not only for the patients but as well for the physiotherapist and mainly for insurance companies. That's why we can keep the patients active, prevent the secondary health issues, and save us more than $500,000 of the healthcare cost per user. The market we are addressing is 250 million euros by 2026. And we are currently present in the European Union, selling mainly in the Middle Europe, but as well in the Middle East, selling in Europe, United Arab Emirates. We have partners all around the world, and we would like to expand in America by end of 2024. Thank you very much, and that's the most important slide. We are fundraising 5 million to reach the goal. Thank you very much for the attention.
Can you talk through your paying customers, and when you approached them about this, what made them want to use you over the, the cheaper versions or the more expensive versions?
Okay, so basically, what we are having at this current point are the orthotic solutions, or inexpensive exoskeletons. So usually, the patients after spinal cord injury, they cannot afford to buy $100,000 solution for home use. And regarding orthosis, they are not motivational, they don't motivate them to use these devices because there is no feedback. They don't know if there is any progress, they don't know if it works, and usually it's very difficult, and there is a big effort of using that. Our patented solution has a special principle of interconnecting joints. That's why the device we have is much more easy. It's easier to use. The effort of ambulation, of walking, is much lower. And that's why that motivates the users to use these devices. And because it's affordable, there is a passive solution, there are no actuators, then it's, of course, cost effective, and it's not that expensive. So that's why when they are released from rehabilitation centers where they can train with this device already, then they can get almost identical solution for home use, and they are motivated to continue, as well home.
A couple of questions. One is, which kind of sensor do you embed in your device?
That's probably not confidential. We have IoT module, normal accelerometers and so on, and as well some encoders to kind of monitor the speed and the number of steps and the symmetry of the walking and so on.
Okay, and you target anyway not the complete paraplegic patient, because
no, yes, we target just the 40% of all the market. Basically, there's an well, we target complete paraplegics, but with the lower lesions. So not the higher lesions. We have several patients with the higher lesions, but those are incomplete. And then we have like vast majority of the patients we have are the complete paraplegics with the lower lesions.
If you are complete, you cannot move.
If you are complete and you have lower lesion, then you can move with our device. Because there is a specific patented interconnection with the joints. If you don't the device, you stand up, you lock the knees, our device has unlocked knees, and then it's enough to just move, lean a little bit aside and forward, and because of that, you activate one joint, and this helps you to kind of move forward. So there is a specific, even though actually if you are completely paralyzed from waist down, that's the best for this particular solution, because this device helps you to move forward even.
And your time is up. Thank you very much. Thank you. Next on stage, Brachydos, represented by Neringa Šaparienė, CEO, Lithuania, MedTech. Welcome to the stage.
Hi, I'm going to tell you a story about how to treat the cancerous tumors. It's called brachytherapy. In a brachytherapy, we use radiation sources to kill the cancerous cells. But the main question for oncologists is how to get the radiation dose right, strong enough to kill the cancerous tumors, but save the healthy organs, not to injure them, because it happens a lot. 80% of these radiotherapy procedures ends up into wounds, bleedings, as well it can be even worse. Loss of reproductive capabilities, extended staying in a hospital. What can we do to make these procedures more safe and save patients' health? That's what we do in Brachydos. It's a hardware and a software combined solution for hospitals seeking precise and accurate radiotherapy treatment in a brachytherapy. We provide our disposable sensors. We place it near to a tumor before the radiotherapy procedure. We collect 10 times more patients' data than solutions used these days. We provide this data to a doctor's computer as well. Our machine learning algorithm provides the probability and the type of the injury. And what's the outcome? The prevention of up to 100% of treatment errors, treatment injuries for cervical, breast, prostate cancer cases, as well saving doctors' time by 50%, 25% reduction of overall costs for radiotherapy departments and hospitals. We will provide our hospitals by our hardware through a distributor channels, and as well hospitals pay us directly the license fee. In average, 3 disposable sensors are needed per procedure, which costs 20 euros per unit. And this makes our total addressable market of 200 million euros because there are more than 40 million brachytherapy procedures annually worldwide. And our doctor says that this is the innovation they were waiting for the last 10 years. And now we are under clinical trial at the National Cancer Institute in Lithuania. And who will make all this innovation happen? So we will make it happen. Our team of engineers, medical specialists, business creators, and me, medical physicist, CEO, our CTO, medical device engineer, the expert in service in the hospitals. And we are aiming to secure 500k euros to bring this innovation to German market in upcoming 18 months. Join us in this journey of prevention of radiotherapy treatment errors. And I'm Neringa. I'm glad to answer your questions.
I think it's a great technology. One thing I'd be curious by is the advent of any new therapeutics, such as biologics or anything else that might make brachytherapy redundant over the next 5 to 10 years. Any thoughts around that?
There are promising technologies regarding this chemotherapy, biology, complex treatments, but in general, no. The radiotherapy or brachytherapy will stay like for upcoming 20 years, 50 years maybe, because it's most costly efficient, easy to do service. Everyone can make it, like every hospital, like small is big hospital is placed in Lithuania or placed in the United States, they can make it and they can pay for this.
Your intervention, your measurement seems to be rather complex. Is it an expensive intervention? How costly is one such administration?
It's a part of the quality control, quality assurance, so it's done anyway. So doctor or the surgeon must do these interventions anyway. So it doesn't add additional costs for a doctor. So it takes like few minutes or a minute to do this intervention.
So you don't know how expensive it is?
We have like final price for the brachytherapy itself. So in Lithuania it's 260 euros in average. So if we use our solution in this case, so it doesn't increase any price for this. So it's in the range of euro cents.
Sorry, just a simple, very simple basic question. How it works? So brachytherapy, you put seeds of radiotherapies. It's just for derma or for also for. If you can explain a little bit how it works, your solution.
Okay, so in a brachytherapy, oncologists use radioactive sources like seeds or materials to kill the cancerous tumors, and we place our sensor near to the places where the radiation dose must be measured correctly, precisely. So it's as well, it's implantable for a very short time, like 5 minutes, up to 10 minutes. It's invasive, and it measures radiation dose accurately.
It's for seeds that you remove after, because there are seeds that you keep in place. So
yeah, as well it works for seeds, so it's low dose rate brachytherapy. So as well for high dose rate brachytherapy, where seeds are not staying for a long time.
So you are deciding the time you are keeping the seed there. what do you optimize with your device?
Doctor decides the time on keeping the seats. We measure the specific dose at specific place where other solutions can't make it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Coming up next, Cardio.ai, represented by Yuliana Nemiskaya from Ukraine, MedTech. Welcome to the stage.
Hello, everyone. Take a look at this picture. It's not. It's not a digital line to Michelin restaurants. It's a digital line to cardiologists. The system is overwhelmed, and it means that a lot of people do not have diagnostics and do not have treatment. Moreover, the cardiovascular disease are the most expensive unit for national healthcare system. I'm from Cardio.ai, and we developed AI-based solution for scalable and affordable cardiac checkups. You may know it as the Holter ECG tests. We work with ECG devices like that. You can try it later, but we can work with any ECG devices on the market, but this one is shower resistant, it's single-used, and provides up to 7 days of monitoring. And we provide a Cardio.ai platform for ECG technicians to prepare a final report. Does anyone have ECG, Apple Watch or other personal ECG devices? Yeah, it's good for you. It's better than nothing, but it's still not enough to provide the medical grade diagnostic, because that is the list of arrhythmias and heart abnormalities that should be detected. And it's not possible to get this information just from single lead ECG devices. There is one more very important case we are working on right now in Ukraine. It's a vital sign monitoring during evacuation from the battlefield. We use the same device, but with ability to stream data in real time. It is useful during evacuation, hospitalization, and rehabilitation. And it also developed according tactical combat casualty care protocol. The market is huge, and we are already on it, but it's just the beginning for us. Our key advantage is time. Instead of looking through raw ECG signals, our ECG technicians just verify the results after AI pre-pass, and it makes their job much easier. There are a lot of competitors on this market, but all of them provide just basic classes of arrhythmia detection. And we provide, and we can detect 80 classes of heart abnormalities. That is our team. AI developers, deep learning engineers, IT developers, and business team working together to build a huge business based on our technology. So we are looking for investments and partners to run the business in Europe and in US as well. There is a device. If you can take it. Yeah. So it's not our device. It's one of the devices that we are working with.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, I mean, I know iRhythm very well,
Yeah.
so you know, they've got a market capitalization of about 3.3 billion at this
Yeah,
point.
we know.
Yeah. So yeah, how do you differentiate yourself? Is it just that you have a lot deeper metrics that you can analyze?
Actually,
And just in relation to cardiologists, like how valuable is that extra information beyond, say, the standard that, say, iRhythm can provide?
yeah, and iRhythm, they also work with single lead ECG device. So that's why they, if you know, they're still not profitable. And yeah, it's true, by the way. But yes, so there is a huge request from cardiologists for deep analytics, because the data that they have from single lead device does not help them to prepare the treatment. So, and it means that it doesn't work. That's why they have to do this test again and change the treatment. So that is the point here.
I'm sorry, maybe I didn't really get it. Is it a software or a hardware or both?
Actually, we have two business models. So we have a software, because there are a lot of companies which already have ECG devices, like Holters, so they can work with our platform itself. But the second business model is device plus ECG report. It's an end-to-end solution for diagnostical centers.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, one final question.
Ah, yeah.
The 3 million, how will you spend that?
We want to finish our FDA clearance and European certification and run the business in Europe and US as well.
Perfect.
Thank you very much. Coming up next, PCN Materials, Dr. Dimitra Katerinopoulou, R&D Manager from Greece, MedTech. Stage is yours.
So, hello everyone. My name again is Dimitra Katerinopoulou and I'm representing PCN Materials, a company caring for air and health quality. So, PCN was established in 2019 as a spin-off company from the Foundation for Research and Technology Hellas, and we got a seed funding from a Greek venture capital called Big Pie. We are producing high-performance photocatalytic materials, and we have been proven most effective in improving air quality and disinfect health-sensitive areas. Have you ever thought how much time do you spend indoors? Imagine even today, we are here all day. So most people spend around 90% of their time indoors. Unfortunately, indoor air is 2 to 5 times more polluted than the outdoor air, with the main causes being airborne pollutants and airborne pathogens, which can cause respiratory problems, even premature deaths. Our solution to this problem is the photocatalytic materials, and specifically we are giving the idea of the modified titanium dioxide. Our material, compared with other competitive materials, they can be activated not only with the sunlight, but also with the artificial indoor light. So with the presence of light and with the presence of oxygen, we can decompose pathogens and pollutants through the process called photocatalysis. And here I would like to point out that during this process, the materials are not consumed, which means that there is no need to renew the coated surface of the photocatalytic materials. So, namely, our materials can achieve more than 99% reduction of pathogens, 85% removal of nitrogen oxides, and during this process we have almost zero byproducts. And here is an example in order to understand better the impact of our materials. So imagine that with the coverage of 1,000 square meters, this is equivalent like you have planted 80 trees, which is also equivalent with the reduction by 70% of 30 cars emission. PCN Materials owns a strong patent portfolio. We have in Greece, 17 Europe countries, USA and China. We have also many publications in this field. We have raised up to now 2 European programs, and this year we managed to have our first revenues, and we are expecting to double it next year. So this is our team, which consists from people with decades of academic and business background. George Kyriakidis is our CEO, and he's a retired professor from the University of Crete, and he's fully dedicated in the company right now. And remember that PCN Material brings better air for everyone. So thank you very much.
Okay, can you please talk through like the application of this, say, in a hospital? Like, is it just spread and who's responsible for it? And also, how long does it need to remain in situ before it's effective?
Good. What you can do, not only in the hospital, but of course in this field, is that our material works as an additive in various matrices, which means that we can add it in wet paints, in powder paints, we can also add it in cementitious fillers, we can add it also in fabrics with a spray, but mostly we have the application with the powder. So we put it in the wet paint, and then you can just paint the walls of inside the hospital. We have done it in ICUs vacuum-treat, and you can have the reduction of pathogens, so the people are not having infections from bacteria and so forth. Regarding the, let's say, lifetime of the materials and how recently you need to do that, we did a proof of concept back then in 2014. We painted a tunnel, not a closed area, let's say. So this tunnel is still white after so many years, which means that the pollutants are decomposing, they are not staying on the surface, and this can give a good proof, let's say. But also we applied it in the Hospital of the Army in Greece back then, and we had the measurements, and we have this 99% reduction of pathogens. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Coming up next, Frontier Management Consulting SRL, represented by Flaviana Rotaru, CEO from Romania. MedTech, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much. I already heard my name, so I will not present again myself. I'm an engineer, electronic engineer, but also investor in the project I'm going to present you. May we start? Colorectal cancer. If you got it, one thing might save your life. Get screened early. But people don't. Why not? Because they use this. I know. They use this, and 20% of the, after this analysis, it's actually a failure. So how can we convince people to get screened more? Because if 80% of us who got screened, we can reduce the deaths by 33%, and by 2050, Medicare could save up to $14 billion. We found an easy and quick way to do it from just one drop of your blood, because from the day one, when you have cancer, your body produces anti-tumoral TCR. And our algorithm will tell you from the beginning where you stand. Of course, we have competition, and we have something they don't have. A clinical study finished with more than 1,000 cancer patients. How about the market? The market for cancer diagnostic is more than $259 billion. That means for us a sum of more than $300 million. How about the team? We have medical, we have technical, this is just a small part of it. We have business. What's missing? Marketing and sales. What about our business model? It's a two-way approach. The first one will target private clinics. The second one will target national health system. Our test should be part of your mandatory annual checkup. Where are we now? We just tested on real data the algorithm. By the end of 24, we're going to have the CE mark for both colorectal and lung cancer. By March 25, we go to market, and by March 26, we already have it for prostate cancer. How about funding? We already secured 4 million euro, a combination of EU money, private investor, bank loans, own money. And we need another one for going to market. Thank you very much.
It's a really interesting technology. One question I would have, and just understanding stakeholders, is I know you're looking at the EU market, but in the US, there's money that can be derived by doing colonoscopies. And so you're removing that from
We are not removing it.
Okay.
Because what people don't know is usually that 25% of the colonoscopy fails. Why is that? Our internal story is not straight. What actually you don't know is that up to 10% actually fail with actually a pinch in your intestines. This is another thing. This could replace on time the colonoscopy, because after you go through this general anesthetic and this bad procedure to find out that actually it didn't work because the doctor couldn't take, the corner with the instrument, and also the doctors are actually scared to do it because of all this story with malpractice. So this test actually can replace, because the sensitivity is almost the same in this moment for the test. If you have it in your annual checkup, at least you got the, the push to do it. Go and do the colonoscopy. My grandmother died because of this. It took 2 years to get a right diagnostic. And it's happening to so many people.
So just going back to this previous question, do you plan to replace the current public solutions?
No, to combine it.
Combine. And what would be the incentive to combine?
So the cost that we are actually paying to treat later stages of cancer, it's huge. Even the pharmaceutical companies, so BRCA.
Yes, but that's paid by someone else. That's not paid by the diagnostics companies. So
Actually, if you want to know, BRCA, which is for breast cancer, it's a test which is actually not so sensitive as ours. It's paid only by pharma companies, AstraZeneca, as vouchers, because they cannot put their molecules on time in treating people. So there is a gate too. EU is going to prevention. All the policy in the EU is on prevention. They want prevention more than treatment in this moment, and this will be for the next 15 years. It's a great window opportunity for us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next on stage, Saventic Health, Joanna Jarmok, Business Development Manager from Poland, MedTech. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry. Okay, that was a big start. So I hope everyone is awakened by that time. So at Saventic Health, we do AI-based algorithms for rare disease diagnosis. So the critical issue is that only 1 out of 8 patients with rare disease get the diagnosis and is treated as they should be. So at the same time, the market is there. So for 2023, we assessed that the global rare disease diagnostic market is worth $35 billion US, and it will be growing by almost 13% in the upcoming years. So the problem is that it takes years for the patients to receive diagnosis. So the patient visits many different specialists and undergoes many different tests in the end to find out that the diagnosis is incorrect or just comes too late to change patient's life. So we are here to shorten patient's pathway so that the patient receives the diagnosis much quicker. So our approach is to leverage the power of AI and medical records so that we can identify patients for treatment and for clinical trials. So this approach has been so successful that we have already 11 international clients, and I can be showing just some of them because some of them most of them are confidential, but we are very excited about our traction. In 2023, we expect to receive 1.7 million euro revenue, and in 2024, we plan to reach almost 6 million euro.
This would not be possible without a great team of experienced and dedicated people that are absolutely passionate about changing people's lives. And we are present now in France, Germany, Poland, Brazil, and expanding operations in Canada. And next year, we would like to have entered US market. So we are seeking for global partners, customers, and of course, potential investors to expand globally. So far, we have raised 3 million euro from 3 different venture capital. And now we are raising 7 million euro for the global expansion and also expansion into new market segments like rare disease clinical trials and rare disease patients monitoring. I'm really excited to be talking to those of you who are interested in this important area of development. So please approach me or contact me on LinkedIn, and thank you for your attention. I'm ready for the questions.
Which application is more important, do you believe? Is it the identification of the rare disease, or is it the pharmaceutical companies who can develop drugs around the rare disease?
So thinking about what we do and our mission is to identify patients that can be helped with certain treatment. So we only focus on rare diseases that already have treatment, because this is like from the ethical point of view, that's very important that if a patient cannot be treated, the sole information that they have certain disease will not do much. So there is a huge problem with rare disease diagnostics. A lot of rare diseases are underdiagnosed. So I think that's a very important area of development. And yeah, I just came back from a conference in orphan drug in Barcelona, and all the experts, because there was like, of course, a mixture of experts, was telling that there is still too little drugs, there are so many diseases. So this area of development is very important, but diagnostics is definitely a very, very difficult area at this moment.
Sorry, simple question, just to better understand.
Yeah.
So you are scanning the electronic health record
Yes.
according to some rules related to the algorithm that you have developed, and based on that, you can diagnose that guy could be, and you what should the part? Then the clinician tells this guy that he could.
Yes.
So you have a confirmation of the diagnosis. And okay.
So this is somehow like a decision support system for the doctor. So the doctor gets the flag that certain patient stands a high risk of certain rare disease, but it is up to the doctor to carry on with the diagnosis and further treatment.
And you are paid by the hospital. You are paid by it's a subscription fee.
So our clients, hospitals receive this for free. We also try to share our profit that comes from commercialization of the algorithms. But our main clients are pharmaceutical companies and biotech companies. And we also develop our algorithms based on grants. These are the sources of our revenue.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And sorry for the fuss.
Don't worry about it. That's what's important. Coming up next, Biomedical Lab, represented by engineer Luigi Battista from Italy. MedTech, the stage is yours.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to be here to present you the PD Watch Parkinson Disease Watch. My name is Luigi Battista, and I am founder, chief engineer of Biomedical Lab. Both diagnosis and temporal evaluation of Parkinson's disease are essentially clinical and typically based on performing neurological examinations and simple motor tests. However, these investigations take into account the severity of motor symptoms only during the length of the recording, whereas the severity of tremor and of the other motor signs may vary very strongly during the day and from one day to the next. In order to reduce this drawback, we have developed the PD Watch, a medical device able to monitor in every moment of the day and wherever the patients are the main motor symptoms on Parkinson's disease. The PD Watch is based on the use of a wearable system, and at the end of the recording session, a report is provided, and it contains a comprehensive breakdown on the main of the monitoring sequencing. The most important part of the PD Watch is the signal processing method, which is able to distinguish normal movement from pathological movement, and this is a patented approach. We have a patent in Italy, in the United States of America, and in Europe. The value proposition of the PD Watch is to provide a powerful tool able to identify the best possible treatment capable of minimizing motor symptoms, so to achieve an improvement in the quality of life for both patient and caregivers. The PD Watch has already been used in several clinical trials, and we have found that there is an accuracy of 91%. The PD Watch is different from competitors because it's able to provide not only a continuous long-term monitoring, but it's also able to better distinguish normal movement by pathological movement by means of our signal processing method. We have two different approaches. The first one, we propose the service to the healthcare professionals and to the hospital. In the second one, we propose our service to the patient with a medical prescription, so they may buy our service by means of our e-commerce platform. Today, the PD Watch is used in 6 hospitals in Italy. And we are working in order to improve our product, because we would like to develop an app to be used with common smartwatches and smartphones. And we would like also to introduce a new important function which is related to supporting and facilitating the diagnosis of Parkinsonism. But in order to do this, we are looking for 1 million euros in order to develop our product and to introduce this into the European and US market. Thank you for your kind attention.
Okay. Can you talk me through the payment model? Again, is it an out-of-pocket, or I saw there maybe it's covered by some health insurance or by some government insurance? Like, is it dependent on the market that you go to?
Yeah. In this moment, the PD Watch is available in Italy. There are 2 approaches. In the first one, the PD Watch is provided to healthcare professional, to the hospital. So the payer is the healthcare professional or the hospitals. And it's like the service of a cardiac unit providing an altered blood pressure, for example. The second approach is related to a direct-to-patient. So in this case, the patient is the payer, but the patient with a medical prescription. So we receive a medical prescription from the patient, signed by the neurologist, and we provide the service. So we give to the patient the wearable system for just few days. At the end of this recording session, we process the report and provide the report to both patient and caregivers. I know that it's possible, for example, in Germany, to get reimbursement by public insurance, but we need to consider fast track for DIGA, for example. In this moment, it's not, but with funding, it's possible to do this.
In the e-commerce model, you mentioned that you provide short-term loan to the buyers. Is it so expensive that they have to consider a loan to purchase it?
I can give you the price because for a recording session of 3 days, the price is 60 euros. For 7 days, 80 euros. So for 80 euros, we provide the PD Watch, the wearable system, and we give back at the end of these 7 days the report to the patient. So we manage the hardware of the system, so the patient just wear the device.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome.
Next on stage, Althexis, represented by Antonis Nikitakis, CEO from Greece. Matt, stage is yours.
Hello, everyone. Althex's mission is to promote skin health and skin beauty by promoting the wide adoption of digital skin examination technology. After going through the market of doctors and several years of development, we concluded that the best way and more efficient way towards this is to go through the pharmacists. Why? Because they're everywhere. And also, modern pharmacies are already undergoing a huge transformation at the moment. They're shifting the business from just selling medicines to a broader range of products, skincare products, wellness, and so on and so forth. And they have all the good reasons to do so because the profit margins are so much higher. And we all agree that the way forward is personalized sales and also improved in-store experience for the customers. But there is a huge but here. They have to spend on marketing campaigns and also to seek for specialized personnel. They have to seek talent to compete. And it's not only that, they're getting this huge pressure for e-commerce, this retail pressure from e-pharmacists, and they have to compete with them as well. But they have a huge customer pool. They have occasional visitors coming in and out into the stores to buy medicines, and they can convert them to cross-sell and upsell those products. But again, they lack the budget and the sales expertise to do that, to compete. And you may ask why they don't rely to technology. The answer is because technology doesn't work right now. Current solutions, they cannot connect skin analysis with sales. But that's where we come. Althexis, for the first time, brings a complete start-to-end sales optimization tool to pharmacists. Skin analysis is only the first step. We combine skin analysis data with other information. We fuse them together, such as customer preferences, business analytics, demographics, and we deliver into the hands of the pharmacist compelling stories, the complete sales pitch to recommend individualized products. We close the cycle with a report to the customer and also follow up to convert them from occasional customers to regular customers, to loyal customers, which is really important. Our pricing model really simple. We don't ask for upfront cost, just a subscription. Of course, the customer of the pharmacy doesn't pay anything. Our solution is scalable, both software and hardware. Starting from Greece, we plan to gradually expand to major European markets, and we have set a series of criteria to prioritize this expansion. For this round, we asked for 650K, half of them already secured in no diluted funding. Yeah, thank you.
Any questions from the jury members?
So they're buying the hardware and then...
They're not buying anything.
No.
It's a leased hardware, just a subscription, monthly subscription. No upfront cost. We're lowering the barrier to enter, which is an issue. So it's just a subscription.
Okay, so because on the presentation, it looked like there was almost like a radar or like a...
Yes, we have developed specialized hardware to have the edge on the data. We're a big data company. We're building our IP based on the data. We need the edge on that. That's why we develop it. It's low cost, lower than a smartphone, for example. So it makes sense. It's an enabler for us. It makes sense to provide this pricing model.
You're not making any diagnosis. You're just suggesting...
It's a recommendation system.
To say, okay, why don't you use a...
Yes, but it's medical grade.
Cream or...
Yes, but it's medical grade. We are in the doctors as well. We started off from them. We get their expertise, but the market of scale is the pharmacists.
So it's a CE mark? Is it
as a recommendation system, we don't need the medical classification, CE mark for safety. Yes, and we're undergoing this procedure at the moment.
Because otherwise, you should have a dermatologist to...
Excuse me, what was
You should have a dermatologist to suggest something me. This is just a way for the pharmacist to say, okay, this
Yes,
telling me
but it has
that,
medical, yes, but it's also, we have worked with dermatologists, we're working with them, but we plan to get back on this market later on. After we scale, we build our network, then we go back and introduce telemedicine features, put them also in the
so
network.
at this stage it's a marketing tool
Yes.
to boost the
Exactly.
sales of.
It's a strategic decision. We first grow, then come back. Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Next on stage, Vigo Health, represented by Anna Vildaus. I have it, but maybe that's not correct. From Latvia MedTech. Stage is yours.
You are correct. Hi, everybody. My name is Chris. I'm not Anna, and I'm the founder and CEO of the company called Vigo Health. So, 3 years ago, my grandma suffered a stroke, which made her partially paralyzed on one side of her body. And she's not the only one. Stroke is one of the most common illnesses out there. You probably know somebody that had stroke. And it also costs the most money out of any chronic condition to treat. Big chunk, almost a third of a chunk of healthcare budgets goes to this illness. And that is because it's very human resource intensive. It's the human specialists that take care of these patients, and that costs a lot of money. And also, these specialists don't get proper treatment because there's just simply not enough human specialists. So what happened with my grandma? She had access to the first virtual and digital stroke clinic in the comfort of her home within a week after her stroke. This is not a pleasure of many out there, but she could do that because we had already developed, 3 years ago, we already had developed a prototype that included an extensive online stroke library. Currently, we have the biggest stroke exercise library in the world of more than 1,000 exercise items. Also, smart personalization, so that we can personalize therapy to each and every individual based on their condition. And she spent, after 2.5 days of learning it, because she was 84 years old at the time, she was using it every day for 1 hour, and we see this all across our customer base. But we're not only great for patients, we're also great for specialists. And specialists get automated therapy prescriptions that saves a lot of their time on their specialist platform. It also delivers digital reporting and digital billing. That means no more paper reports written by hand, and specialists love this, saves a lot of their time. This is a snapshot of our revenue in October. Last year, we got revenue of almost 100,000 K, and we work with health systems. I believe that the road to success in healthcare is working with health systems, and we're the first digital therapeutic in Latvia that is governmentally reimbursed, and also currently the only one in the Baltics that is reimbursed. But Latvia is of course our home market, but not our end market. We're of course planning an expansion. Next year, after we get a 1.6 million contract from Latvian government, that is now pending, but will happen next year. We are starting the fundraising round to raise more money to expand in Europe and the US, and also open up a new disease line, which is going to be Parkinson's disease. We already have started working on that. This is our team. You can also see Anna in the bottom. She's one of my closest colleagues. We're 3 co-founders. And we want to bring the solution that brought my grandma back to health. Now, 3 years later, she's fully healthy and thriving, and we want to give the same opportunity to people elsewhere. Thank you.
I don't know if anyone else spotted, but hopefully you have a better picture of your grandmother than that guy standing like that.
Yeah, that's actually not. That's actually another colleague's father who also suffered stroke. But stroke is common, you guys.
So it's the hospital system that pays, or you were saying the healthcare system, but is it a hospital system that is the specific payer for this solution?
No, actually, it's the National Health Service. So in Latvia, we have a single-payer healthcare system, as mostly in Europe. So the healthcare system pays. In US, for instance, it's many healthcare systems that operate there, and we would work with them, you know, whether it's Kaiser Permanente, on Aetna, or whatever.
And have you looked into the US market and the competitive landscape at present?
Yes, we have looked into it, but the thing is that a lot of the competition, most of the competition don't work with health systems. They work with physiotherapists, with private clinics, and try to provide solutions for them. We believe that working with healthcare systems is the place where the money is. Well, not that we believe it, it's true. And working with Medicare in the US or with private, private healthcare systems, that's the way to go. It's a harder sell. It takes longer time. It took us 3 years to penetrate the Latvian market, but it's worth it.
And how much money do you need for your next round?
We have, this is something we are still kind of discussing, but I can tell you it's within the 10 million range.
I see the point of selling to hospital directly or trying to sell to hospital directly instead of physiotherapy center or physiotherapist. But the real question is, anyway, is your solution better than competition? Because you can switch business model. I mean, if there are others working with, so if there is room, there we switch. There is no entry barrier different from what you have. I mean, it's the same. To go and try to engage the government and the hospital system to adopt.
But I would actually argue on your premise, because I think changing a business model in healthcare is extremely difficult. Starting conversations with government needs to happen very early for them to be successful. It takes a really long time to convince them about the solution that they should use. Selling to private clinics or physicians is much easier, but if a government is paying for a certain solution, then it's much, if a government is paying for it, then it's much harder for the government then to change to a different solution. And currently, it's physicians that companies like Vigo targets. We think it's wrong. It's the healthcare systems that should be targeted.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks. You. Next on stage, InventMed, represented by Dominik Dziadek from Poland, MedTech. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Can I see my presentation up there? Oh, yeah. So, InventMed is a company which basically saves the people from unnecessary amputations. Since the past 300 years, our modern medicine developed from the very basics in tools and knowledge through the revolution of pharmacology up to sophisticated diagnostic systems. But still, we cannot deal with non-healing wounds in the proper way. Every 30 seconds, somewhere around the world, someone loses a foot because of diabetes. 50% of these people will die within 5 years because of that. And we invented a solution for that problem. This is a cheap, available, and effective technology which saves people from unnecessary amputation. It's called Laserobaria. It combines 5 physical agents, and this combination affects in multiple biological ways, and it accelerates the process of tissue regeneration. The global diabetic foot ulcers market is worth now $8 billion and will hit the $10 billion in the next 5 years. The medical devices to treat non-healing wounds at this market, this is worth about $2 billion. And currently, the leading technology named NPWT, negative pressure wound therapy, it's worth maybe another way. The sales that leading company of this currently leading technology, they make $70 million each year of revenue. which means that maybe we can create some new sector in this area, and I think it's feasible to get at least $10 million revenue and increase it maybe to up maybe $100 million. We are on the market, we are certified, we have patented device, we cooperate with the biggest Polish medical institutions, and we have 8 active clients in Poland so far. Our team is made by the very good professional CEO and CFO, have over 30 years of experience in the industry. All right, so that's it.
Can I ask, just price-wise, how do you compare against negative pressure wound therapy? Are you higher, lower, or do you have to build in some healthcare economic model to justify a higher price?
It's not necessarily a higher price. The device, of course, it is a little bit pricier than negative pressure. But at the end of anything from the side of the patient or the system, the cost of the therapies would be similar because our therapy heals the wounds faster. So it means the less costs of nursing and stuff like this. So yeah, the whole therapy is comparable. That's why I choose an NPWT to compare, because use case is similar and costs are similar actually.
Can you talk to the effectiveness of the treatment? Is it as effective as negative pressure treatment?
Yes, and even maybe more effective. We have some researches, but we didn't conduct researches to compare directly negative pressure with our solution, but by basing on our data, we can say it's very, very comparable, even better.
Are you thinking of conducting a comparable clinical study? Because that would, if you have a gold standard, usually at a certain point you compare it to say, okay.
Yeah, we are comparing it to not to negative pressure, but to topical oxygen therapy. It's another leading technology in wound care system. So we are more effective than topical oxygen. So by this comparison, we can assume that we are also more effective than negative pressure.
Okay, and do you have any clinical data at present, or is it all the trials still to be completed?
We have some trials pending, but we have about 6 clinical medical experiments, in fact, which are published. It's just you need to write down lacerobaria as a method in Google Scholar, and there is some clinical data which are available for free, and anyone can see how effective it is.
Okay. And is this patented technology that you have at present, and also what level of investment do you need, and how far will that get you, say, from a regulatory point of view?
This is the patented device. It is class 2 medical device classification. We are available on the market, and we are seeking for maybe €2 million to expand to other markets, and we are looking for the opportunity to expand the sales through globally. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
That concludes our competition. A huge round of applause to both our juries and our presenters, please. Well done. Well done. The winners will be announced very soon. The ceremony will start at 15 past 6, 6:15, 6:15. Whether you're watching online or you're here physically, be sure to come back and enjoy the excitement of the awards and winners being revealed. And you can still vote until 6 p.m. Keep that in mind. But for now, time for our final break. See you at 6:15.